thank you for tuning in to another episode of WGC Fits. Today we are working with Sam. We are going to be figuring out some fairway woods and some hybrids for her. And we're going to start off with having her hit a few 6-irons. You want to hit a couple 6-irons for us, Sam?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So we got the new iron set. We're playing good. What we have to do is get something in between this and driver for you, right? Okay. Go ahead, hit a couple of these, and let's see what we're dealing with. So when you're playing, what's the normal yardage you're pulling this club for?
I would say, I guess I kind of predict this to be about 160.
Okay.
But right now I'm definitely finding where there's holes where I shouldn't be using my driver off the tee box, and then there's other times where I need a longer club,
Then 6-iron.
Then a 6-iron, exactly. So I'm kind of just using this as anything above,
in between
160.
Right now,
club.
Okay. That'll work.
Yep.
So what we'll do is we'll have you hit a couple of these. You can see we got another set in there. We'll compare, make sure we're good, and then we'll jump into a hybrid for you. We're going to try a hybrid. We're going to try a fairway wood, and we're going to see if we get the yardage that we need to get to, because I'm thinking we got to cover between 160 and 250 right now. That's a big gap.
Yeah,
so
just about.
We got room for in there. We'll see what we can get.
Cool.
So we can see here that you said you're playing your 6-iron around 160.
That's just what
I think realistically we can add a little bit to that, right? But we still have to really gap, let's say 170 to 250, right? And right now it's a big gap. So the first thing we're going to try for you is going to be a 5 hybrid. Now this 5 hybrid is very similar to the irons that we have set up for you.
This feels heavy.
It's going to feel heavy. So hybrids are meant to, they're going to feel different, right? There's a lot of weight in the head, and it's a very similar shaft that you have in your irons, right? So it's same spec. We're slightly shorter, just like we were with the irons. Yep. This is a 5 hybrid, regular flex, just like we had, same shaft actually. So let's go ahead and let's hit a couple, and let's see. That was crushed. With this club, you're going to be able to take a divot just as effective out of a bunker or like a rough lie as you would be out of the fairway, right? Actually, some would say that it's actually probably a little bit easier to hit through kind of taller grass because you got all that sole on the bottom of the club,
that makes
right?
sense. Yeah.
That was really good. Let's hit a couple more. I like where that started, all right?
Thanks. Crushed it.
Dude.
I think I'm done.
Hybrid missile launcher.
Wasn't clean, but
again, not one that's going to hurt you.
Good misses though.
Now, let's talk about you playing golf here for a minute.
Yeah.
When you're out on the golf course, this club's predominantly drawing, right? A lot of people say that hybrids draw a lot, right? Now, realistically, there's hybrids that you can draw, hybrids that you can cut, anything, right? The shot shape that you're seeing right now, this being a little bit of a draw, is that something you feel like you can get around a golf course with?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, in my brain, I just plan for it to go straight, obviously, and then but have like side of error if it does go left or does go right.
Okay.
Like it still works out. Just because I'm not.
I think it's good because like I'm seeing a one-way miss, right? I'm not seeing you kind of cutting the ball, right?
Yeah.
So what that's doing is that's letting all your target areas double, right?
True. Yeah.
Twice as wide target areas mean it's a lot easier to hit target. Yeah. So with this club, what I would say we could do is kind of aim up the right side and let her just draw back in.
For sure.
You know,
yeah.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah. I want to see you hit one more, and then we'll talk a little bit about kind of what we want to put in the bag after this, because I quite like this. Yeah. This was a starting point, but I think it's a good point. You know, we wanted to stick with something fairly similar to our setup, and I think this is doing everything we needed to do. For sure. You know, so give me one more good one.
All right.
Smoked.
Yep.
That was probably the best one.
Yeah, that was nice.
In terms of playability, that's awesome. this is checking off a distance that I really like. It's right in between 180 and 190. And I think that's good, right? Now, the question would be, do we want to put, for you, now think about you out there playing, right? Do you want to put 1 or 2 clubs on top of this club to gap between, let's call it 185 for average to 250?
Yeah. Like you're asking what that number would be?
Yeah, how many clubs would you want? Do you want to go 1 or 2 here? Because it's going to depend on the next club I give you.
Yeah, I would say probably the higher number.
Okay.
Because I feel like what I find myself is if I'm on a par 5 and then I'm 230 out or 250 out.
Give you some options.
It gives me,
Right, okay. So the next thing we're going to do then is I'm going to give you, I built you up a 5 wood.
Cool.
All right. It's again, just like these hybrids that we know you hit well now. I'm going to give you that. We're going to look at what the yardage looks like. And we're going to see if there's room to put a club in between the 5 hybrid and the 5 wood.
Perfect.
Okay. We're going to start this off at standard length. If we have to choke down, we will.
Okay.
How are you with fairway woods?
Truthfully, I have never really used them. I've never really had a wood in my bag.
Okay.
I only had hybrids, but the hybrids I never felt like I could hit them right, so I just avoided them.
Okay.
So it was always just driver and irons.
Okay.
But after hitting the hybrid, I feel like this could be kind of cool.
Kind of cool club.
Yeah. Nope. How'd that go?
Silly. 203, 129.
Are you looking for the
good?
The carry to be 200 or the total to be 200?
I would love to get our carry there.
Okay.
But with this club, because we have so much of a window we have to work with,
Yeah.
I'm more okay if we just get in general somewhere in ideally that 210 to 220 window.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Wow. That was a nice one.
That was very good. So that's the secret. You just need me to stand here, right?
Feel the pressure.
See, that's what I'm looking for.
Oh, wow.
Right? All right. This is, we're going back to the hybrid.
Yep.
So this is the 4 hybrid, literally same spec as the 5 hybrid, which we know we like. All right?
Yes.
Let's try this a couple times.
All right.
With this club, I'd be happy around 2. That's my goal, around 200.
Cool.
Okay? We noticed with the 5 wood, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were getting kind of some really good shots out of it. Wasn't necessarily the most consistent thing in the world, though, right? So we're going to see what we get out of this.
Okay.
It's better.
Slowly but surely. I quit golf.
No, you can't quit. Come on now. I don't like this one. I like the ping 5 wood too. It showed the...
I mean, I hit it the way it was supposed to be hit.
You hit it the way you're supposed to be hit. It showed the potential for what we need to get to, right? And I think that having the slightly heavier kind of club overall, we've proved time and time again with this whole process that it works for you, you know? I think that's what we got to do. You know, I think we go with that. And then we have the 5 hybrid. I think both of those kind of fill the gaps that we need right now. The only thing you're going to have to do is work on the practice with the 5 wood a little bit, you know. We're going to keep it pretty standard for right now. We're going to go slightly shorter with it. But other than that, it's going to be a pretty standard setup. Down the road, if we have to, we can add some loft to it. I don't necessarily think we're going to have to, though, right? I really think with the grip and with the spine tilt, we're going to be able to get that dynamic loft where we need to. Because like I said, not many people can get to the left side like you can. So it's good, you know? Happy. Thank you, WGC fans, for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next one where we try to answer more of your questions. We'll see you.